Hello, dear and near viewers. I am Zane, a relationship consultant and psychologist. One-sided love carries a grief that most people never talk about. It is the kind of pain that feels quiet, almost invisible. There is no breakup date, no shared goodbye. Just the slow realization that you have been the only one holding the weight of something that was never mutual. And the hardest part is, your feelings were real. You loved for two, you hoped for two, but you healed alone. And letting go of that kind of connection, if it was never balanced, hurts in a way that is hard to explain. Because it is not just about losing someone. It is about losing the version of yourself that believed so hard, held on so long, and tried so much. It is about grieving the silent effort that no one else noticed but you. Let's dive in. 1. The illusion of mutuality. When we love someone deeply, we often convince ourselves that they must feel something too. Maybe not as much, maybe not as clearly, but something. So we hold on. We interpret crumbs as signs. We read between lines that are often blank. And in doing so, we build an illusion of connection that is more projection than reality. The mind fills in what the heart needs to believe. But illusions, no matter how comforting, cannot carry the weight of a real relationship. And the moment that illusion cracks, we are left not just with heartbreak, but with the grief of having believed so deeply in something that was never shared. It is a grief wrapped in shame because we do not want to admit we were the only one hoping. But there is no shame in hope, only in forgetting that we deserve more than illusion. 2. The weight of emotional labor in a one-sided relationship. You become the emotional caretaker. You initiate the conversations. You plan the time together. You check in, follow up, reach out. Your needs become secondary. You learn to live on emotional scraps, responding to late replies with warmth, rationalizing neglect as busyness, accepting inconsistency as enough. Over time, this imbalance erodes your self-worth. You begin to wonder if you are too much or not enough. And that inner conflict, that self-doubt, becomes heavier than the actual relationship itself, because it is not just about the other person. It is about what you had to silence in yourself to keep the relationship going. That silencing becomes its own kind of betrayal, the kind we commit against our own emotional truth. 3. Why letting go feels like losing hope. Letting go of a one-sided relationship is not just about walking away from a person. It is about walking away from the fantasy. The hope that if you just did more, waited longer, loved harder, they would finally meet you in the middle. So when you finally let go, it can feel like you are giving up on love itself. On your belief that love wins, that effort matters, that connection is reciprocal. But here's the truth. You are not giving up. You are choosing truth over fantasy. You are choosing your dignity over your longing. And that is a kind of bravery people rarely see. It is the quiet strength of someone who finally sees their worth clearly, who stops fighting for a love that only they were carrying. That kind of strength deserves to be honored, not hidden. For grieving something that never fully was. The pain of a one-sided relationship is complex because you are grieving something that never fully existed. You are mourning a future you imagined, a bond you believed in, a person you saw potential in. But potential is not presence. And love without reciprocity is not sustainable. So the grief lingers not because of what was lost, but because of what never had the chance to become real. That kind of loss is quiet. It does not get sympathy cards or closure talks, but it deserves to be honored, because it takes immense strength to let go of something you wanted so badly to work, and even more strength to sit with the silence that follows, and to remind yourself again and again that you were worthy of more all along. 5. Healing without resolution. There is often no apology, no validation, no conversation that makes sense of it all. Just space. And in that space, you are left to rebuild your own meaning. To tell yourself the story that honors your effort without shaming your hope. Healing from a one-sided relationship is about reconnecting with the part of you that loved so fully and remembering that this capacity to love is not a flaw, it is a gift. A gift that, one day, will meet someone who does not need convincing to love you back. It is learning that closure is not always something you get from them. Sometimes it is something you give to yourself. It is not tidy, but it is sacred. and it is possible. Have you ever been in a one-sided relationship? What did letting go feel like for you? Or are you still holding on? Share your story in the comments. Never know who might need to hear what you have survived. There is power in naming our losses. There is healing in knowing we are not the only ones who have loved alone, hoped too long, and chosen finally to let go. In our next video, we will explore the hidden role of resentment in relationships and why unspoken disappointment can quietly destroy emotional connection. This is Zane, a relationship consultant and psychologist. Subscribe to STR TV for more real, reflective conversations that speak to your emotional instincts.